Welcome back to the channel. Mopar Man 1978 here on a day off. Nice day. Focusing on the two slotted mags for the back of the Dart that I wanted to get cleaned up. Some of you already may know, some of you may not. These were the rims, actually 2 out of the 4 rims. The fourth one was completely here, I'll just show you. I bought these off of Jed and his dad from Scott's Speed Shop a couple years back. This wasn't their fault. This is just the way the rim was when they got their van that they call Van Dookie. So can't use this one, but I'll use this for like I've said in my other videos, rolling up a garden hose on it, or air pressure or air line or something. But they're all these Unilug. There's the other one that's in good shape. But since I already have the 14-inch by 6 slotted mags on the front, I'm going to keep these as extras, as backup. There is the other one around here somewhere that's yeah, I already showed you. Okay, yeah, so these are this anyway. I have a way of polishing my rims. I don't have money to go out and pay somebody to do it. As you can see how nasty this one is. Whatever road grime was on the rims before that van was parked, and then while that van sat out in the field all them years, pretty build up layer of filth. These are kind of rough casted on the back side from the factory. These are actually instead of 15 by 7s, they're actually 7.5 rims, which is a little bit wider than what than those 2 slots that came off the back of my pickup, because I have the 15 by 8.5s now on the truck. But anyway, made in USA. I got to looking at this, the patent number on here. You won't be able to see it on this one. I haven't got it cleaned up, but I did a cross reference on the internet. Come to find out, these rims were real popular back in the day. They're from a company called Superior Industries. I think they started in the late 60s into the 70s. Anyway, oh, we got a little yellow jacket flying around here. I hate them things. Anyway, I don't know if you could see. I'll just use something to point at it instead of my finger. That dimple right there. I think somebody, while that van was sitting in the field, somebody took a shot at it with a .22, and it ricocheted off the rim. And because when I had the tire off, I noticed this the other day. Focus. Let's see, right there. I don't know if you can see it. The cracks, kind of a cross pattern. I'm going to make sure I tap that back out, and then I'm going to have a local welding shop. They will either charge me little to nothing since I've brought some of my business to them. They'll get their aluminum welder out and weld a flat patch over that, and a patch to cover, fill up that dimple, and then I'll just use my bits and buffer pieces and whatnot to just go ahead and blend it back in. But anyway, as you can see, this is before as well. As you can see, it's pretty rough looking. A lot of filth, a lot of grime built up on it, especially inside here where all the rough casting is. I use a combination of tools that are low budget. One of the best to use on the back side of these aluminum wheels is these auto body buffer wheels. It takes the paint and the clear coat and stuff off. It doesn't leave scratches, but it also takes the grime right off, like that. You just got to work your way around the rim and up and down and all the way around. And it's a little time consuming, but I mean, if you're one of the people like myself that can sit there and fish for hours or what have you, and you got a lot of patience like I do, so yeah, it should be no problem. If it's not for you, then you'll probably have to save up some money and have somebody do the rims for you. But anyway, then I switch back and forth between this one here. This is not too rough course of bristles. And then I also have this I bought from Harbor Freight, the automotive Scotch-Brite buffing ball. And then I got some of these for aluminum. Notice how coarse the thread or the teeth are on this. It's to grind. Got these in different lengths, and these work really well. I got these in different shapes, and I also got these. Anyway, and I use everything from the coarse maroon Autobody Scotch-Brite pads to the gray ones, which are a very softer grit. 2000 wet, and I do it 2000 wet on the parts that I really want to look nice, like the face and the rim and the inside of the slots. And then if I need to, I touch them up with the real fine steel wool. This one's double, and this one's quad zero. Anyway, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, here is this is not the finished product, but this is like the final step. I don't know how well you can see that I can't see very well through my screen on my smartphone while I'm recording with the sun. But yeah, I got it down to where it's smooth all the way inside here, and then I just got to work on I got most of the rough casting inside these slots cleaned out and smoothed up. Still looks a little rough, but that'll be taken care of with some sandpaper, or I'll just buy one of them little machines that's got the little triangular head on it that you put the different sanding pads on it, the little triangular sanding pads. I'll get in here from the back side and go around in here and clean these up. But anyway, I got one done, as you can tell, and then as you can see on the back side, backside's all done. I didn't spend too much time on the backside. These don't have to look perfect. They just need to be down to clean bare metal. And then I got all that patent number is 3329468. Superior Industries came out with several different style of aluminum rims back in the day, and these are SEMA certified rims because it still has the sticker right there. I don't think this other one does, unless it's buried in a bunch of filth. But yeah, I got these all done on the back side, and then what I'll do is I'll come in with I do a combination of Mother's Mag and chrome polish, but I also do I'm also going to try this stuff out. I just bought this the other day. Chemical Guys Heavy Metal Polish. I'm going to see how well this does for chrome, stainless, and aluminum. And then I also use Meguiar's buffing glaze compound, but I use the Mother's pinkish red, the big cone shaped wheel, the buffer cone. I shouldn't say wheel, but anyway. And that's what I do to finish with to get the final product of almost the mirror quality shine on the rim. So yeah, I also found out a company online, they're on eBay, that sells all the original chrome aftermarket inserts for the Unilugs to go back in here. I also found out too that you can take one of these regular studs and it'll work as well. You just have a gap on one side. There, you can probably see that better. Anyway, that works too. And as far as the original Unilug inserts, I got them laying around all over the place over here. Most of them are pretty rusty. But if you take a step bit and a drill press and you come in on this back side and you bring it down and just drill out this to a slightly bigger diameter, because these are, as you can see, these are countersunk inside for standard lug nuts. You can use these to go in there, and you could use these once you open up the hole just a tiny bit more. See how they won't go in? If you open that up a little bit more, you can use these existing inserts. But yeah, and the same people that make the reproductions of these also make these with you know how those acorn nuts that are chrome plated that you can get at your hardware store or home improvement store, that's got the bullet nose on the tip of it. Well, there's the same company sells this exact same kind of lug, but with about a 1-inch tall bullet nose coming off the top of them, and I'm going to use those on these for the Dart, all 4 rims. And then the eBay also has all 4 of the US Mag bullet nose center caps for like 45 bucks for the set. So those are going to go on there, so that's going to make the car look really nice. Also, okay, so I stopped at Branson Metal Supply. That's the same place that does the welding, custom welding for stuff. And I bought this. It's 2x4 rectangular box tubing, thick wall, 3/16 thick. Bought a foot of it, and I'm going to measure it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if you already know, when you put the rear mounting brackets on the Mopars for the shackles, you know that the bolts are diagonal instead of straight up and down. They're diagonal offset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure how much of this I need for each side. Come in here and drill my 4 holes, and then on the hole, and then after I drill the 4 holes, I'm going to make these front holes bigger to allow a socket to go through. And I'm going to go ahead and bolt up the back side through the existing body panel that the shackle bracket would originally bolt to. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shackle, line it up where it's supposed to be, trace it out, and measure and trace out where the bolt holes are going to go. And I'm just going to go ahead and bolt them in. I'm not going to thread them. I'm just going to bolt them in with grade 8 bolts and whatnot. And this is what this is going to do, is because right now the shackles sit like this with the weight on the car, and they're actually supposed to be like this. What this will do is it'll bring the shackle, the top of the shackle like this, or possibly a little over like this. So the geometry is going to be where it's supposed to be. And then once I get that done and I get the tires put on, because for now what I'm going to do to get this vehicle rolling, take those existing 235, 75, 15 tires that are in better shape than the ones that came off these rims here, put them on these, put this on the car, and if I still have clearance issues with the lip right there, the inner part of the lip that faces inward where it curves in, and if it keeps rubbing on the tire, I'm going to I did an experiment the other day. I used this 5,000 or 5,700 pound tractor jack, and I jacked up the body on this car, and where there was about ½ an inch to an inch above the tire. And with me adjusting the tensioner bolts on for the torsion bars, it brought the front end up of the car, so it's not going to look ridiculous once the car is on all fours. And it'll have a, not extreme, but it'll be a mild version of what you would call a street freak look. The back end will be jacked up a little bit, but it's not going to be overly done, because that's what some of my friends and some of the other Mopar people in the Facebook groups I belong to and whatnot said that they didn't care for that street freak look, but I like them. Mine's not going to be too extreme, but it's going to be noticeable, but you know what I mean. So it's going to have that cool look. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. In the next video, if the weather's still good, which I'm hoping for, like I said, I'm going to be starting on making them extended brackets, or base plates, spacer boxes, whatever you want to call them, for the back, for the shackles to be top part of the shackle to be pushed forward, straight up, or a little bit forward. Anyway, and then what I'm going to do too is I found a cheap set of adjustable bar shackles online. I think 15-20 bucks. I don't usually trust that cheap stuff, especially if you're going to use that cheap stuff, because I used it years ago on my Volare. I needed a little bit of tire clearance on the back of my Volare. It was a 76 Plymouth Volare Premier 2-door, basically a Duster wannabe. And I put 235, 75, 15s on the back, and slotted mags front and back. And so what I did was it had the factory leaf springs on it, and all I did was I bought the polyurethane bushings and grade 8 bolts, and I used the cheap shackle brackets and the adjustable ones, and I think I bought them from O'Reilly's or something, and just jacked the car up and checked how the car stood, or the stance, and the 3 different levels, and picked out the one I want and made sure it cleared the tires and all that stuff, and it did. And and the thing is the tires didn't stick out this way. They stayed in there, but the way the car set, it seemed like the fender well was going to start rubbing on the top of the tire, so that's why I got them. And then I used better shocks than the stock factory ones style from like Monroe or whatever. But anyway, I wish I should have took pictures of that, because you guys would have liked that too. It was white with a hand crank sunroof, power windows, power steering, power brakes, 318 slapstick 3-speed automatic 904, true duals. Yeah, it was a fun little car. Factory bucket seats. So yeah, I had to get rid of it because it at the time the engine blew a piston. Just so many miles on it after I got a hold of it. It was a daily driver, and at that time I didn't have the friends and Mopar connections and stuff like I do now, and so I had to end up selling the car. I sold it to some guy up north of us for like 800 bucks or something, and he took it and he started fixing it up. So anyway, like I said, next video is going to be modification for the rear suspension again, and stay tuned. I'll show you in the next video of maybe me probably finishing up these rims, actually polishing them, because I know I did a couple videos quite a few years back on how I go about polishing rims, and I did 1 or 2 videos, like a part 1, part 2, but I didn't get a chance to finish the third one, so this will probably be a third one. I'll just make it part 3 and go from there. And yeah, so luckily we've been having a lot of warm days instead of freezing temps and freezing precipitation and stuff like some places we've already been getting. So maybe it'll carry on into December and go from there. But anyway, till next time.